So this video is going to be about Paul Walker.
Yes, it is.
Karl for Paul.
For Paul. We've now lived in a post-Paul Walker movie world for at least 2 Fast and Furious films, depending on when it is you watch this video. Today, I'd like to share one of my favourite stories about Paul Walker, specifically how he came to appear in the movie 8 Below, a film in which he saves a bunch of dogs in Antarctica to which he owes a life debt.
So go on then, why did Paul Walker appear in 8 Below?
Well, according to Paul Walker, he appeared in 8 Below because his mother yelled at him that he never appeared in any nice movies, and she was annoyed that his daughter and all his nieces and nephews couldn't go watch a nice movie that didn't star a large, buff, former wrestler in a t-shirt tighter than RoboCop's handshake.
Agent Hubbs, right?
That's right.
After his conversation with his mother, Walker promised to keep his eye out for a more family-friendly film that his daughter, his nieces and his nephews could enjoy, or, failing that, ask The Rock to please control his biceps.
So after this, how long did it take for someone to actually offer him a role in a family-friendly movie?
According to Paul, exactly 2 weeks when Disney contacted him about possibly appearing in 8 Below, and I'm not really sure why someone at Disney thought, okay, so who do we get to lead this movie about some fucking dogs? How about that guy in that street racing movie who communicates solely through handbrake turns and burnouts? He's the one we want. I'm going to assume though that that Disney representative had like a crisp $20 note just tucked in their pocket from Paul Walker's mother as like a chance meeting in a grocery store. While you'd think after the conversation he'd had with his mother, Walker would have jumped at the chance to appear in this movie, he initially turned the role down, thinking it was just going to be a rip-off of Snow Dogs.
What was Snow Dogs?
It was a shit movie with a similar concept starring Cuba Gooding Jr. And to be fair to Paul Walker, his fears were somewhat justified by the fact that Snow Dogs and 8 Below ended up having the exact same poster, and I'd also like to point out they starred the same dogs.
Why?
Because how many bloody trained huskies do you think there are in Hollywood, Brad? Do you think it was just a big farm of them somewhere? This is like the thing I mentioned in another video. It's like John Wick and the Equalizer had the same Eastern European extras. Like, these dogs had a fucking rough time if you watch these films back to back.
Rough time.
I get it! That's a funny one. Great, awesome. Dog puns. The height of humour. Yeah. We're on a roll.
How you doing? Yeah. I feel.
Since we're talking about animal actors, I promise we'll get back to the Paul Walker thing in a minute. But first, we need to talk, Brad, about the Air Bud cinematic universe. And I know people are watching at home now thinking, wait, I remember Air Bud. It's that film where a Labrador Retriever plays basketball. And wasn't there a sequel where he played football? And that was about it. Oh, you naive young fool with ribbons in your hair. You do not know the depths of the depravity Hollywood will sink to when it smells money. Because there exists an entire cinematic universe around the concept of Air Bud. There is an entire Air Bud lineage. The dogs that he sired have gone to space. There is nothing the ancestors of the fabled hero known as Air Bud have not done. There is a sequel to that film, or one that's set in the same universe, where dogs wrestle. I am not making this up. There is a film where the Air Bud... Brad, just bring it up.
Oh, Christ.
The idea, the Air Bud, like, people thought Marvel did it. No, Air Bud did it first. People think, oh, Marvel established that you can have a giant sprawling cinematic universe. No, Air Bud. What is it now? I think it's, please just double check something. Is it Air Bud Studios?
I'm getting Air Bud Entertainment.
Air Bud Entertainment. This is not made up, folks. This is a real world we live in. This is like, when I found this out, my mind, it's like that meme of like the galaxy brain expanding. And it was similar to when I found out there are 13 more Land Before Time movies. So I watched like 3, I was like, oh yeah, Littlefoot's doing all right. Like Sharptooth, fuck Sharptooth, Littlefoot, you go. And I thought, it's like 13 more. And they replaced all the actors. Because obviously they're all child actors and they all like grew up. But when I found out, I remember there was a lot of sequels to like Air Bud. I know there was Air Buddies and they go to space. But when I found out, like, oh no, there's an entire, like, Air Bud Entertainment. These movies are so profitable. There's an entire fucking studio that does nothing but pump this shit out. And the idea that in this universe there exists this mythical hero known as Air Bud. There's like giant statues of him, and he sired this legendary line of dogs who've done everything. Oh.
Are you ready to hear about this full universe?
Go on,
Because this
please.
is more expansive than I think you know.
It might have grown since we last did it. Is this the new Universal Dark Universe? Have we found a competitor?
So by the looks of it, the original dog was called Buddy.
Buddy, yeah. The
And
original
there's-
Air Bud.
There are 5 films with Buddy.
Yeah, but I'm guessing he wasn't the same dog in all of them. Because I found this out. This is my favourite bit. If you pull up some posters or some like covers to Air Bud, obviously the dog in it's supposed to be male, but obviously they Photoshop his dick out on all the covers.
Someone's job was photoshopping out dog dicks.
So when you're photoshopping bullshit for this channel, just remember, some fucker in Hollywood working for Air Bud Entertainment had to Photoshop dog dicks off a fucking DVD cover.
So the original Buddy.
Yeah, the original.
So he played basketball. Then American football.
American football,
Then soccer.
then soccer, another soccer one.
And in Air Bud 5, Spike's back, he plays volleyball.
Oh my god. Is this supposed to be the same dog? Is this the world's most talented dog?
So then he moves on to the Air Buddies films,
Oh, they're very sad.
of which there are 7.
These are the children that the original Buddy sired. These are, like, what is this, like, dynasty? Were they sending Bud out to stud? Was he like a stallion that they charged, like, do you want your puppies to fucking do awesome, cool shit? It's like, I like to imagine that after his, like, long and storied career playing 5 different sports, they just sent him to a farm store. He did nothing but just fuck other dogs. It's like, we're going to create a race of super dogs. What else we got?
Okay, so let's run through the Air Buddies
Yeah,
films,
the
because
Air-
these are worse.
These are worse.
These
yeah.
are much
I know
worse.
it's Air Buddies in space.
Yeah, that's number 8, Space Buddies. Number 6 of the films is just called Air Buddies.
Air
where,
Buddies.
Where the offspring try and save their parents. Classic.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Classic sequel material there.
We got Mom and Dad dog napped. Gotta save Mom and Dad.
Snow Buddies. Their offspring go on an Alaskan adventure.
So wait a minute, that's also a snow one. Jesus, man, I wonder if they bumped it to Paul Walker while they're out there.
We will talk about Paul Walker at some point.
We will get back to Paul Walker, but like the Air Bud cinematic universe needs to be discussed. We cannot ignore it. Its girth is too wide.
So 8, Space Buddies.
Oh dear.
They tag along on a field trip to a space museum.
Oh, yeah.
And accidentally walk aboard a rocket ship.
Okay.
Number 9, Santa Buddies.
Please tell me there's like another spin-off series.
Well, there's a spin-off of one of the spin-offs called
Oh my
Santa
God.
Paws.
A spin-off of a spin-off, man. We're getting this is some deep shit.
We've also got number 11, Spooky Buddies.
No, what's after the Buddies series? I want to keep going.
All right, I want to get to number 14, Super Buddies, where they get magic powers.
For fuck's sake. these like, remember this film started with a dog that could play basketball and it ends with flying puppies.
Number 15 is I
on.
don't think it's about Buddy's family, but they're called
These are all supposed to be the same dogs, I think.
well, this one's Russell Madness. It follows a
There it is.
Russell Tussle.
It's in the same universe, I think, but I don't think it's the same family of
It's
dogs.
the same cinematic universe. Though.
I mean, considering that the next one's called Monkey Up, is about a monkey.
Oh, they try to branch out. Try to get that simian
Yeah,
audience.
because then think about it. They could have a
What's
like,
they-
Avengers team up with the monkey.
Who'd be the like Nick Fury of the Air Bud cinematic universe? Would it be Air Bud himself? I want like, what dog do you want to see walk in wearing an eye patch? Being the Nick Fury.
a pug. So let's get back to Paul Walker.
Yes, and 8 Below. According to Paul Walker, after he read the script and he realised it wasn't just a shitty rip-off of Snow Dogs, and the film actually had some heart and a lot of drama to it, he said, you know what, I'll take the role in the movie to get off the hook. If you're wondering, that's an exact quote from Paul Walker. Yes, he starred in this movie so his own mum would stop yelling at him. As nice as it was that Paul Walker appeared in that movie almost entirely, because his mum's like, can you just be in a nice movie that your daughter can go watch? Like, I'll bet his mum was all kinds of pissed when they actually took his daughter to go watch that movie, and like Paul's character leaves halfway through the movie to go race cars in Tokyo.
Is that actually something that happens?
Oh no, all the dogs die, but I just wanted to like make a reference to Tokyo Drift, so you can put in a clip from Tokyo Drift, because I like the soundtrack.
It's not even in Tokyo Drift.
Yeah, but I like the soundtrack.
So for people who haven't seen our previous Fast and Furious video,
Okay.
do you want to maybe clarify the whole for Paul thing?
Oh yeah, that might come off a bit crass if you don't know the backstory behind it. Basically, when Fast and Furious 7 came out, I was so amazed by the end of the movie and the way it like sends off Paul Walker's character that every time I heard the song See You Again, which was played a lot on the radio, I should add, I would just go for Paul. At first it started as a joke, but I started doing it so much that I would instinctively just go for Paul every time someone said for Paul. To the point where my friends would say when I was at the pub and I would spill my fucking pint. Because they'd say, for Paul, and I go, for Paul. And, oh no! Oh no, it happened again. And I finally managed to wean myself off it. But I love the end of Fast and Furious 7. I think it's so ridiculously over the top. And I've gone into explicit detail about exactly why in our Fast and Furious video, which you can go watch if you want to see me just fawn over how stupid and ridiculous and awesome that ending is.
There's a bit at the end of that video as well, which I'll put a clip in of now, where I actually just said for Paul, and you do it
do it,
instinctively,
you can see,
and then
'cause
tell
I'm
me to fuck off.
Right, I'll do. Fuck
Hey
it.
Karl, for Paul.
For Paul. Fuck off, don't it? I was still coming off the tail end of it because I was worked up thinking about Paul Walker. It's been a while now that I think I've finally come to terms with the fact we've lost Paul Walker. I think.
I miss Paul Walker.
I do, I miss him.